All right, so here we have a 37-year-old woman who has broken up with her boyfriend, guys. And of course, what better thing to do after breaking up with your boyfriend than to jump on TikTok and talk about it? So let's jump right into this clip here. Let's see what this woman has to say. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
I'm 37 years old, and in 2 weeks, I was getting ready to uproot my life and move across the Pacific Ocean to Hawaii with my boyfriend when we unexpectedly split up. Now, first of all, let me just say I am in good spirits, and part of the reason why I'm in good spirits is that ever since I was a little girl, no one has ever been able to tell me what to do or how to think. When society zigs, I zag.
What does that even mean, man? What does that even mean? When society zigs, I zag. Yeah, right on, sister. So anyway, we are like, what, 30 seconds into this video, guys, and this woman has said essentially nothing. I love how modern women do this, right? They'll talk about their breakups, they'll talk about their relationships, and essentially say nothing of substance for like 90% of it. Let's continue.
That is just always how I've been as a person. When people started to tell me, especially after my last breakup, settle down with anyone, give the guy that you don't like a chance, date somebody only for money, or change how you dress, change how you present yourself, change this about yourself. No, I like myself. And I come on these apps and I see so much fearful messaging.
So, do you know why people tell you to do this? Right? People tell you to do this because you're running out of time and you're 37 years of age. You know what? This woman has actually ran out of time. Okay? If you're trying to have kids, for example, at 37 years of age, probably not going to happen. Okay, so the reason why people tell you, hey, maybe you shouldn't be dressing that way at 37 years of age. Maybe you should be aiming to settle down very rapidly. You should just probably take what you can get. The reason why people tell you stuff like this is because they know how little time you have to actually, settle down, have a family, get married, and so on. But these women don't want to hear it. This is a 37-year-old woman. I mean, good luck trying to have kids at 37.
About women dating into their 30s. And I'm going to be honest, I've had plenty of options, plenty of good options. My problem hasn't been, oh, all the men are trash. And I don't ascribe to that way of thinking either. My problem, and I don't want to upset anyone, is that I actually have had quite a lot of options. And it's hard to pick. And as a woman, I think when you have many options, often you end up picking some of the more aggressive pursuers. And sometimes that is just maybe not it.
I love how these women just refuse to take accountability. Oh, I have so many options, but of course the options are wrong because the ones that I chose, well, I just went for the most obvious ones who are the most aggressive. Right? They blame it on the aggression of men. There's no taking accountability for the types of men they choose to date. There's no, yes, this is what I willingly chose to hook up with or get in a relationship with. There's none of that. Notice how women, whenever they, talk about their dating experiences, guys, oftentimes what they'll do is they will try and take every step imaginable when they're discussing the situation to just remove accountability from themselves. Yes, I had lots of options, and yes, I could choose any man that I wanted. I just kind of went with the most aggressive one, because I'm just helpless, right? The men who are the most aggressive, well, they somehow beat the competition and they got my heart because they forced me to give it to them. It's ridiculous.
Regarding my split, I just want to say this. I have seen this thing that so many women do, especially as they inch closer to 40. And I was talking about this with a friend the other day. She knows this woman who is in a relationship that she heavily suspects is abusive. And she said that this woman turned 37 and was like, oh, I have to just find a guy. So she found a guy that was aggressively pursuing her. And this guy is a total nightmare. We have to stop being desperate. I live near Montecito and I was up there swiping on Raya. There was a man who was 21 who looked like a supermodel.
Yeah, so just by the way, again, this woman, what kind of cope is this, okay? The reason why your quote-unquote friend was in a rush to settle down was because she was 37 years of age. I guarantee you, by the way, this relationship that she just previously described was probably not one where the man was evil and he was a terrible guy. This was probably just a relationship where the woman thought that she was above him. This is what happens, guys, okay? Women will screw around until their body clock, their time, or whatever you want to call it, is expired, then or nearly expired. Then they'll get with some guy out of desperation that they're not attracted to because they've had too many chads in their lifetime. And then what they'll do is they will assign bad characteristics to that man. You know, like, guys, how many times do you see this crap when women will label their ex-husbands as narcissists or users or terrible men, right? But you come to find out it's just because she doesn't respect the guy because she's not attracted to him. So she will label him these negative things to give her justification for leaving his ass. Do you guys see how that works? I hope I'm making sense when I'm laying this out, okay? Because this is what women do. This is very, very cyclical. It happens over and over and over again. They get with a man because they're running out of time, who they're not attracted to. And then what happens is they start to label this man with negative characteristics that he typically doesn't have so that they can justify leaving his ass later on. Maybe after they've got some money, maybe after they've had some kids, or got him on the hook for child support for kids that are not his own, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, there was a man who was 21 who looked like a supermodel who wanted to match with me. That is not my speed. I like older, but you have that option is available to you if you want. The doomerism, the red pill matrix nonsense from people like Andrew Tate and the Whatever podcast. Now, I'm sorry, but as a man, if you listen to stuff like that, what you are telling me is that you don't have experience with women.
Okay, so this, I see it's all coming together now. This woman probably went on one of these podcasts or something, got absolutely obliterated because she was running out of time and just still was not in a successful relationship. And now she's just here, you know, making her TikTok videos, and she is pissed about this. Yeah, guys, you know, if you watch RP content, you get no women. You just don't understand women. You know, a lot of guys who consume RP content, you understand that a lot of them have been married, right? A lot of these dudes are older guys who have been around the block, who have actually been seriously screwed over by women a lot of the time. So riddle me that. How is it that the divorced men or the married men can't get women or haven't been with women or don't understand women? I would argue actually that these men oftentimes understand women the best. You know, if you go speak to a divorced guy, he will probably tell you some truths about dating, about marriage, about women that you might not otherwise learn. Okay. This woman is just pissed. She's pissed because there is a reality to being 37 years of age and dating as a woman. That's what she's pissed about. Now, you can be pissed with reality, but I find it just absolutely hilarious when women make videos like this.
Listen to stuff like that. What you are telling me is that you don't have experience with women.
And just by the way, what makes experience with women a good thing? I've noticed how women will always try and roast men, right? And they'll do it in this way. They'll say, oh, well, you don't get women. You don't have any experience with women. You're clearly a loser. Okay, let's just say a man has no experience with women. You know, how does that preclude him from, number one, understanding that women run out of time to have children, or that their ability to date effectively goes down, right? How does that preclude those men from understanding that? And second of all, why is it an insult to not have experience with women? I think a lot of guys who don't have experience with modern day women are honestly pretty damn blessed. You know, if this is the dating pool, I think guys who lack experience with women, maybe that's a bit of a blessing in disguise, but let's carry on.
I have never been able to be told what to do or listened to authority. Which, what is authority? Can anybody tell me? Because that has not been clear to me for a very long time. Because I don't listen to any authority other than my own inner authority and God, my relationship with God, who has authority over my life, and not in some weird way that other people ascribe to. I don't believe that God wants me to suffer, which is why I'm not suffering right now. I know that this situation that seemed perfect,
oh my goodness,
there's something better. Like, I have a knowing. It's not a belief. Wayne Dwyer talks about the difference between knowing and belief. I have a knowing that something better is coming.
Can somebody come and pick this woman up? Like, I think she belongs in an institution of some kind. Okay, so she broke up with her seemingly perfect, i.e. perfect, relationship. This is a woman who's claiming to be a godly woman. Press X to doubt on that one. But now she knows that a better man is around the corner. Madam, you are 37 years of age. You are running out of corners. Okay? What are we talking about here? All of these women, they always think that something better is coming. Oh, the next man, he's going to be the real love of my life. Ma'am, you've had like 10 loves of your life by this point, at least. Okay? You're 37. What are we doing? And the reason why I roast women more harshly than men in this situation, guys, is because women are the ones with all of the options. They're the ones with all of the power in dating, or at least 99% of it. You know, so when they get to 37 and they still suck at dating, they still haven't got a man, I find it hilarious. And then she claims she's a godly woman to top it off. Okay? And just by the way, men don't want to date women who can't listen. That might sound a little bit awful. That might sound a little bit rude, a little bit crass, okay? But if you're a woman who doesn't listen to authority, when society's, you know what they say, guys, when society zigs, you zag. I need a soundbite of that. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, okay? Men don't want to date women who don't listen to authority. Because let's be honest, guys, when men are in households, when they're with women, they're expected to be the authority, or at the very least, they're expected to be the leader, okay? And it's very hard to lead without any degree of authority because your woman will not listen to authority. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like, you literally can't date women who refuse to listen to anyone or anything outside of their own inner principles or inner authority or whatever the hell she called it. You cannot date these women. If you do, your life is going to be miserable. And I think a lot of men understand that.
There's no doubt. And I also just really enjoy my own company. I used to be very, very codependent. So,
oh my goodness.
Because I like myself, I like my own company. Anyone coming into my life is just a bonus. They're getting to enjoy the life that I've already built for myself.
Men do not, this woman is so clueless. Men don't date women to participate in your life, madam. It's literally the other way around. Women will date men to participate in the lives that men have built. When men are dating women, we're not looking to enter into lives that women have built. We don't care how successful your career is. We don't care about, you know, the way you've structured your life, or what events you have access to, or what opportunities you've created. Okay? Men are not dating to find a sponsor of their life. Women don't seem to understand this. You know, like, oh, a man's going to be able to enter into your life. What is she talking about? These women are so clueless. Yeah, that's what I'm looking to date, guys. I'm looking to date a woman who's a real builder, right? Who's really built something with her life, because I want a woman who's accomplished and doesn't listen to authority. My goodness. They're so clueless.
So, because I like myself, I like my own company. Anyone coming into my life is just a bonus. They're getting to enjoy the life that I've already built for myself. So now I'm not going to Hawaii. I am taking the month off work and going to Costa Rica. Starting in Costa Rica, I think I'm going to end in Miami. I don't believe in setbacks. I don't believe in settling for something that is outside of your integrity.
Yes, another 37-year-old woman, guys, who doesn't believe in settling, who has built a life for herself, who you're supposed to join that life. She doesn't listen to authority, but don't worry, she's 37 and she's a godly woman, And she believes her real, the new man, the better man is just around the corner. It gets more and more ridiculous every day, I swear. Guys, we're going to be leaving it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. And remember, if society tells you to zig, boys, you zag, okay?